Okay, good morning, everyone. We are on Yud Beis Amud Aleph in Maseches Makkos, 7th line, and we are sure about that. Nigmar Dino. Amar Yud Amarav Shtei Ta'uyos Ta Yoav Bios Hasha. So Yoav, we know from the story in Tanakh, Shlomo, at the command of his father David, was chasing Yoav. And he was chasing Yoav because he wanted to kill Yoav for having killed many years earlier two tzaddikim, Avner ben Ner and Amsa ben Yeser. So now Yoav is running away, and Yoav is somebody that knows the psukim. He knows he's a Talmud Chacham, so he knows that the pasuk says, "Me'im mizbechi tigachenu lamos." And you may remember, if you're in the middle of Chazering Yuma now, so you may remember that Me'im mizbechi tigachenu lamos, that you can take the Kohen from the mizbechi. You cannot take him me'al mizbechi. If the person's in the middle of doing the avoda, you cannot take him away and killing him. So he figured, okay, he's chasing after me. Where's the best place to run? I'm going to run to the Mizbeach. Vayanas Yoav Elo El Hashem Vayichazek Bekarnos HaMizbeach. So he goes ahead and he grabs the chsiv, that he grabs the Karnos HaMizbeach, the horns of Mizbeach. Ta, he made a few mistakes. First of all, She'eno Kolei Al Galgo V'hu Tavas Bekarnosav. First of all, it says Me'im Mizbechi, and we say Me'al Mizbechi. That's only if you're on top of the Mizbeach, not if you're grabbing the Karnosav. Second of all, that protection from the Mizbeach is only the Mizbeach in the Beis HaMikdash, not the Mizbeach in Shiloh. Rashi points out that it can't be the Mizbeach in Shiloh, because the Mizbeach in Shiloh was before his time. So it must be talking about the Mizbeach of the Bama. There was a Mizbeach that David HaMelech set up between the time of Shiloh and the time of the Beis HaMikdash. Abaye Omer, B'hanami mitata, ta she'eno kolid ala kohen v'avoda b'yada v'hu zar haya. He was a zar. It's not just that there's like a free parking over here. It's that if you go and you're a kohen, you're in the middle of the avoda, so then l'maisa you will be koled, but it will not just be koled stam to a zar. So that's why he wasn't protected. Amar Reish Lakish, Shalosh ta'uyos asit saro shal romi litos. Dichsiv, the Saro Sharomi, when he'll get killed by HaKadosh Baruch Hu at the end of days, he's going to make three mistakes. First of all, Dichsiv mizeh medom, who's coming from Edom, chamutz begadim mi batzra. The Saro Shal Esav, the Saro Sharomi, will be chamutz begadim mi batzra. He'll have blood all over his begadim because he's going to get killed. Tova she'eno kolates ela batzar. We said that one of the Ari Miklat be'ever Yarden was batzar, so he thought he went to Batzra. He made a mistake. Obviously, there's much deeper meaning to this idea. But he went to Batzra, even though Batzar is the place where he would have had the Yer Miklat. Second of all, when Rome killed the Jews over the years, it wasn't B'shogeg. Had it been B'shogeg, maybe the Yer Miklat would work. But it was not B'shogeg. And the Yer Miklat only work for Adams. They don't work for Malachim. Amr Biavahu Ari Miklalo not nulik vura. So Biavahu says,
how is he amazing to kill the people? It's the Romans who did it. He's the Malach. Is he responsible for that?
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he has some sense of responsibility. Yes. Whatever it is, he's part of the. He's part of them. His name is Ismael. So the Gemara says, Amar Biavahu Ari Miklalo ninu likfura. The Yer Miklat were not given for kura. The Migrashem was the part around the Yer Miklat. All the open areas were meant for their behemoths, their property, and all of their chayosam, all their stuff. What's the problem? Well, if you were here yesterday, you know it says Meisve Shama Shamte Diraso, Shamte Mitaso, Shamte Kfuraso. We said we buried them in the Yer Miklat. Says the Gemara, Rotseach Shani Degali Berachman. It's fascinating. So it ends up coming out that the Rotseach, who was Gola to the Yer Miklat, he would be buried in the Yer Miklat. But the Leviim and the other people who lived in the Yer Miklat, when they died, they would not be buried in the Yer Miklat. And what's even more fascinating is that when the Kohen Gadol died, we said even the people that had been buried in the Yer Miklat, the Rotzchim, so they would go ahead and they would be taken Vishavu El Steachuz Asam. So it ended up that there would be like temporary cemeteries in the Yer Miklat for the Rotzchim, and then when the Kohen Gadol would die, everybody would be transported over to their home cemetery. Zak the Gemara, Shem She'er Koletes. Just like the ear is kolate, also the area around the ear is kolate. The tchum of 2,000 amos. Rotseach sheyatza. My fault. Or minhi v'yashaba v'lo b'tchuma, but it says that you have to live in the Yer Miklat and not in the Tchum. So I don't understand. You're telling me that the Tchum is kolate, but we clearly have a diuk that you can't live in the Tchum. Amar Abaye lo kasha kan liklo kan ladur. In terms of being kolate, the Tchum is kolate. It protects you. But in terms of living, you need to live in the city. Says Gemara ladur tepuk leidenos in sada migrash lo migrash shadav lo migrash ir v'lo ir migrash. We already know that you can't live in the migrash. You're not allowed to make the migrash, which again is the open area around the Yer Miklat. You're not allowed to make that into a city. So we already know you can't live there. So what's the chiddush here telling me that the Rotzeach can't live in the area outside of the city, but that it'll still protect him? It's needed for the tunnels. What does that mean? That means that Lamaisa, he's protected outside of the city. He's protected in the Tchum 2,000 amos outside the city. But he can't live there. What do you mean he can't live there? Nobody can live there. You're right. Nobody can live there, but underneath the ground of that 2,000 amos, mechilos or tunnels, there it says v'yashaba. The Rotzeach cannot live outside of the city within the Tchum underneath the ground, in the tunnels or in the caves. The people of the city, the Levium, etc., they can live in the tunnels underneath the city, outside of the city, during that area of the Tchum. So again, that's what it means. That Lemaisa, what do we have here? Just to review. The ear is kolate. So to the 2,000 amos is kolate. It says v'yashav ba, that the Rotzchim have to live in the city and not in the Tchum. What do you have to tell me that? We already know that nobody's allowed to live in the Tchum. We said the difference is v'yashav ba, the Rotzchim have to live in the city. The other people can live outside of the city, underneath the city, in those 2,000 amos. But nobody's allowed to live, because the pasuk says nobody's allowed to live in the 2,000 amos on top of the ground outside of the city. That's the nafkamina. So the people who live in nobody can live outside the city within the Tchum. It'll still protect the Rotzchim, but the people, regular people, can live in the tunnels and underneath the city within those 2,000 amos, and the other people, the Rotzchim, cannot live even underneath the ground outside of the city. V'yashaba ba v'lo b'tchuma. Good? Says Gemara. Said if the Rotzeach goes outside the Tchum, so the Goel Adam can take care of him. The word v'ratzach is very unclear. Does that mean he needs to kill him, or does that mean he's allowed to kill him? Mitzvah biad Goel Adam, ein Goel Adam, rishus biad kol Adam. So again, we always said that the Goel Adam will be on one level, and then everybody else will be on a lower level. So if it's a mitzvah for the Goel Adam, then we'll say that everybody else has a right to kill him. Div Rabbi Yosei Glili. Rabbi Akiva Omer, we take it down one level. Rishus biad Goel Adam. The Goel Adam has the right to kill him, and therefore one level lower for everybody else is V'chol Adam Chayav and Alav. And that's how we seem to have said yesterday, that he has the Rishus, but Lamaisa it's not a mitzvah. My time at Rabbi Yosei Glili, why would you say it's a mitzvah? Miksiv, it doesn't say imratzach, if he kills him, it says v'ratzach, he needs to kill him. For Rabbi Akiva, miksiv yirtzach. He said, no, if it meant to mean that he has to kill him, it'll say yirtzach. So they're arguing over this unclear lashon of v'ratzach. Does it mean you have to kill him and therefore everybody else is allowed to kill him? Or does it mean you're allowed to kill him and therefore everybody else is not allowed to kill him?
Can you just tell us, I forgot, when could the Goel Adam kill the...
we said yesterday, he could kill him anytime outside the city. When he's going from Beis Din into the city, or once he's in the city when he comes out.
How about once he killed the person on the way there? He can also kill him?
That's what we're saying. Again, he could either kill him from Beis Din, going...
Before Beis Din,
when he's first
after
running.
he kills, after he did the act.
After he kills...
He runs to...
So again, seemingly, no. The two Chachamim, Mendel's asking, I kill you by accident. We said everybody, as soon as they kill somebody, can run to the Yer Miklat. But he doesn't have the two Talmidei Chachamim then. He has the two Talmidei Chachamim after he's in the Yer Miklat. He's taken out of the Yer Miklat, brought to Beis Din. Then the two Chachamim bring him back. So what I would say to you is that the Goel Adam can theoretically kill him, but he's taking a risk. Because the guy hasn't been tried yet. So if the guy is tried and found to have killed B'shogeg, then one will say retroactively, again, I didn't see this in Gemara, but this is what I would say. Retroactively, he killed him and he had the right to kill him. But if you kill him as a Goel Adam before he's been brought to court and found to have killed B'shogeg and not Ba'ones or something, now all of a sudden you're going to be Chayav Misa if you actually killed him. What? Again, you want to talk about the Mitzvah, so what's going to exactly happen? You're going to go into this, and then, but at the end of the day...
He doesn't have to leave.
What?
The court's inside that you're mixed.
That's what we said, but we said usually the...
Well, no, the Goel Adam will never get to him.
Unless,
based on your answer.
Right. Well, right. Correct. And that's true.
Unless he sneaks.
That's what we're going to see today. That happens to the Levium. If a Levi kills B'shogeg, the Levi goes from town to town within the Yer Miklat, so you can never kill him. Right. The goal. You have to remember the Goel Adam. And this was something that somebody mentioned yesterday.
An opportunity.
Again, the Goel Adam is not necessarily something that lechatchila we want people going around killing other people. We give it as an opportunity. The question is what exactly is the svara behind it, but we're not going to go out of our way to find every single possible opportunity to make sure that the Goel Adam can kill the guy. So in the mitzvahs where over here, again, if you say it's a mitzvah, yeah. But you're right, there are going to be cases, especially if we learn like this, there's going to be cases, but most people are tried near where they committed the crime. That's not necessarily near the Ir Miklat. The Levi is probably in the best position, because if the Levi kills B'shogeg and he's already in the Ir Miklat, then he's basically safe. But again, it's not a good life. Let's not make it sound like, these kosher jails. Like, these are not like, yeah, they sound very tempting, but these are not like great lives, okay? So being in an Ir Miklat is not necessarily a great life either, where Elish Lamaisa can't travel anywhere. It's like being somewhere and not having a passport to go anywhere. Zok the Gemara. That's the machlokas. Says the Gemara. Where were we up to? I don't remember anymore. Amar Zitra Bar Tuvi Amarav. He's not allowed to kill. If a Goel Adam kills somebody anytime, seemingly, he's going to get killed. Now, we've never seen this before. We've had a discussion, is he mutter, is it a mitzvah, but we've never seen anybody who says a Goel Adam is usher to kill the guy. Kiman, who's this like? Loka Rabbi Yosef Glili, Loka Rabbi Akiva, really not like anybody that we've seen until now. Hudiamar ki aitana de Tanya. And again, it's hard to understand this Tanya. What do you mean? We clearly said that in the Chumash, it's clear that if he goes out of the city, he's allowed to kill him. So what's going on? Whether you want to Tanya, when that is, rhythm, says Gemara, no, Rabbi Lezer Omer. The pasuk says, Adam do lifnei haidol l'mishpat. He needs to stand in front of the Beis Din l'mishpat. Matam alomar. What does that mean? You might think he'd kill him right away. Talmud lomar amdo lifnei dal mishpat. Very interesting chiddush. What this man Damar Zoni, he says, I agree. If the guy goes out of the Ir Miklat, you can kill him. Maybe even I'll agree that you can kill him on the way to the Ir Miklat from Beis Din. But what's the pasuk of amdo lifnei dal mishpat? Now, pashup shot is that what? You're standing in front of the Yiddi, you have to be judged. But that's not talking about judgment. That's what sounds like it's talking about after he's already been judged. He needs to stand to be judged. He learns what it means is that this guy needs to be warned. That means a Goel Adam can kill the Rotzeach, but only after the Rotzeach has been warned not to leave the Ir Miklat. And therefore, he would say that there is going to be a case where the Goel Adam cannot kill the Rotzeach. If the Rotzeach is in the Ir Miklat, and for whatever reason, I don't know if they warn them as soon as they come in, but for whatever reason he hasn't been warned, and he wanders outside of the Ir Miklat, then the Goel Adam cannot kill him until he's been warned. How's the Goel Adam supposed to know? Exactly. It's his problem to figure out and to find out and to make sure that the guy was warned before he goes ahead and kills him. Zak the Gemara, Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Kiva are going to argue and say that's not true. He doesn't have to be warned. Once you go into your miklat, you know that you can't come out. Hi, Aram Delifnei Edel Mishpat Maidar. So basically, what do you do with that? Hahumi Baile Lichadetanya. Rabbi Kiva Mer Minayin Lisanhedrin Shiro Echad Shargas and Nevashin Shen Mamisin Osoachiyama Bezin Acher. Tamalomar Am Delifnei Edel Mishpat Achiyama Bezin Acher. They don't learn it specifically in this case. They say no, the guy doesn't have to be warned. So what does it mean until they stand in front of the mishpat? So they learn it for something else. They say, let's say we're convening here a Beis Din, and we mamish see another guy holding up a gun right there. Right here, a guy holding up. We're in the middle of talking in Beis Din, and we see a guy hold up a gun and say, I'm going to kill you. And we say, we're warning you that if you kill him, you're going to be killed. And he kills him anyway. So, Adamdo Lifnei HaMishpat, until you go ahead, Lifnei HaMishpat tells us that they need to go, that we can't judge him. If we're the ones who warned him as a Sanhedrin, we can't judge him. We need to send him to another Beis Din in order to try him and to judge him. He'll obviously be found guilty, seemingly, if we're the Sanhedrin and we saw it, and we're a Beis Din and we saw it. But Lamaisa, what it's teaching us is that we're biased, so we can't try him. He needs to go to another Beis Din. Tan Rabbanan.
You're saying anytime someone is a witness and warned, he cannot be part of the Beis Din. As a general.
Well, that's seemingly true in general, yeah. But we're saying that the whole Beis Din here saw it. So now it's interesting. The Gemara says, there's a lot of interesting stuff here today. So the Gemara says that if the Rotzeach goes out, so you can kill him again, whether you say with a warning, without a warning. But Lamaisa, everybody agrees that at some point you can kill him. The interesting thing is that the Pasuk uses very interesting words. Im yatso yatsa harotzeach. What do you mean im yatso yatsa? Im yatso yetzei. Should say im yatsa if he goes out, or im yetzei. What's the double language? Ainli ela b'mezeh b'shogeg minayin talmud lomar im yatso yetzei mikol makom. So it's interesting. That's adding that if the guy wanders out, and this may be connected, interestingly, to the previous thought about having to warn the guy. But it sounds like if the guy wanders out without realizing that he's leaving the Ir Miklat, b'shogeg, you can still kill him. V'hatanya, I don't understand. B'mezin nerag b'shogeg gola. We pass on halacha l'maisa, as you see here. But l'maisa, you have another brisa that says that if he wanders out by accident, exactly what that means by accident, unclear. Does that mean it could be connected that he was never warned? Could be like, it's not like this guy's a professional guy in Gullus. Not everybody knows all the halachas of Gullus. So if he walks out, b'shogeg, he gets not killed, he gets sent back into the miklat. So what is it? Lo kashi, hankaman damar amrina dibur Torah lashon bnei adam, hankaman damar lo amrina dibur Torah lashon bnei adam. If you say that the lashon bnei adam, there's a machloket sometimes, does the Torah talk the way that the people on the street talk? Or every single word is medayik. If it talks the way that people on the street talk, then we're not going to be medayik in every single word. People on the street are not medayik on every single word. So if it says the word yetzeh or yatzah twice, we're not going to be medayik that means mazid and shogeg. If you learn lo dibra Torah lashon bnei adam, the Torah is holier than lashon bnei adam, and therefore every single word we're going to make a diuk on. So that's going to be lo dibra Torah lashon bnei adam is going to be the mandamar who says that the guy gets killed by mazid by shogeg, because if it's saying the word twice, we're clearly going to learn something from it. But if you say dibra Torah lashon bnei adam, then at the end of the day, just because it says the word twice doesn't mean that we're going to learn that he's going to be chayav even b'shogeg, and therefore if he happens to go b'shogeg, dibra Torah lashon bnei adam, it's just saying lav dafka two things, yatzo or yatzo yetzeh. It's saying if he goes up and mazid, he gets killed. If he goes up b'shogeg, he doesn't get killed. Amar Abaye, which one makes more sense? Mistaber kamandaber dibra Torah lashon bnei adam. Makes more sense to say that if he goes up b'shogeg, he does not get killed. And listen to this beautiful svara. You always have these beautiful svaras in the Gemara. Shelo yehe sofo chamor mitchilaso. Because if you would say that if he goes out without realizing it, he's going to get killed, then now it's going to be more machmir than him going into the base into the mikla in the first place. Why? Because think about what the svara. He killed originally. If he killed b'mezid, he doesn't go into the miklat. If he kills b'shogeg, what happens to him? He goes into the miklat. Now you're going to tell me that if he walks out of the miklat by accident, you're going to kill him? So when he kills by accident, you don't kill him. He goes into your miklat. But when he happens to wander out of the miklat by accident, then you go ahead and kill him. That's the svara of the Gemara. Therefore, it makes, you don't like it. Okay, I didn't make it up. The Gemara says. But at the end of the day, I think it makes a lot of sense. Yes, it seems like a little bit warped, but at the end of the day, the Gemara is saying that when he kills somebody b'shogeg, he goes to the miklat, and he doesn't get killed. But when he wanders out of the miklat b'shogeg, if you're going to say that he's going to get killed for wandering out, it's ridiculous.
Because the maskanas then, they ruled on him that if he did b'shogeg. Before then, it was up in the air. It was a shogeg and not a shogeg. But what's the...
No, one second. When he goes to Beis Din, and they rule that he killed b'shogeg, right now they rule he killed b'shogeg, what do you do with him? You send him to the miklat. Yeah. So now, when the guy, b'shogeg, walks out of the miklat, we're going to sentence him to death by saying that the Gol Adam's allowed to kill him? Yeah. Crazy. That's what the Gemara says. That's what the Gemara says. That's what the Gemara paskins. B'mezid neharag b'shogeg gola. If he walks out again, this connects to the warning. It's possible, don't get me wrong, it's possible that this never happens. It's possible that when they come into their miklat, welcome, and they get their welcome package, so in the welcome package it says, you are hereby warned, or big signs on the thing that say, do not leave their miklat. That's possible. And then once he does, so then there's nothing to talk about. But b'shogeg, one can argue, and again, this gets into a much more technical discussion. We all know that you're not allowed to be mechal Shabbos. I was talking to somebody about this last night. So what exactly is b'shogeg? I walk into my office and I turn on the light on Shabbos, because I always turn on the light every single morning. So again, we're not getting into it now, but is that b'shogeg? I know that it's aser. So just because a guy knows it's aser to leave the miklat, does that mean that anytime he leaves, it's considered to be b'shogeg? Again, not for now. But the point is that Lamaisa, it makes a lot of sense. The Gemara is saying that b'shogeg, he's going to be gola. Okay.
You could easily walk out of the tchum not realizing he went past the tchum.
So I'm assuming again that they had lines and stuff. So I'm assuming that they made it clear. I don't know. Zok the Gemara. If you don't like it, fine. Good. Beauty. Tani Chada. We have one Mishnah. Av shaharag beno nasilo gol adam. Fascinating. There's a lot of interesting stuff here. So let's say a father kills a son by accident. Rachmana litzlan. He runs over a son by accident. The other son is allowed to go ahead and kill his father. The other one says that the other son, now he doesn't have to again, unless you say it's a mitzvah. If it's a mitzvah, then maybe he has a mitzvah to do it. Maybe this is the machlokas, Rabbi Yosef Glila and Rabbi Akiva. The one who says that a son is allowed to kill the father would hold that it's what? That it's a mitzvah. The one who says the son is not allowed to kill the father would hold that the Gol Adam's only a reshus, and if it's only a reshus to kill the Rotzeach, then the son's not allowed to kill his father. But does that make sense? Even if you hold it's a mitzvah, you tell me that a son's allowed to kill a father? A son is never made a shliach for Beis Din Laviv la'koso, which means in order to be, Rashi says, la'koso is to give him malchus. Ulakilalaso, Rashi explains, means to throw him into nidor, to throw him into excommunication. The only time a son is allowed to be a shliach habeis to kill his father is if the father is a mesis, chutz mi mesis, and that's because Sharei Amar Torah, the Torah specifically says, lo tachmo v'lo tachas alav. If a father encourages other people to serve avodah zarah, then the Torah says, have no rachmanos on him. That's the only case a son can go ahead and kill his father. So what are you suggesting here? That if it's a mitzvah, so then you'll say that the son's allowed to kill the father. Ela lo kasha, you're right. Habib no. By a son, even if you hold it's a mitzvah, he's not allowed to kill the father. Habib ben beno. But by the grandson, it seems to me that what it's saying is that if you say it's a mitzvah to kill the goala, if that it's a mitzvah for the goadam to kill the rotzeach, then you can say that a grandson would be able to kill his grandfather. But in a chanami, a son would never be able to kill his father.
The more getting this idea, there's so many lotases by a son for his father. There's so many lotases.
And therefore, what? I understand.
So where do you get this concept? Where does the Gemara get that from?
You're saying to even have the havamina.
Yeah.
Interesting question. Okay. Well, you could also say asay doche los asay. If an asay is doche los asay, then what?
Well, so that's what we're going.
So we're going through asay doche los asay. So why can't he do it? Because l'maisa, the Gemara clearly brings another brisa that says that he's not allowed to do it unless it's a mesis. Okay. Sorry to say, that was the easy part. Zak the Mishnah. Ilan she'omei b'toch atchum. Put on your thinking caps. Ilan she'omei b'toch atchum v'nofo notel chutz l'tchum. So you have an ilan now that is inside of the tchum, and the branches are outside of the tchum. Now you're talking about again. You have those 2,000 amos that go outside. So now what happens? The guy is on the tree. So he's sitting on the trunk of the tree. But the branches are outside. So do you go based on the trunk? If you're told go based on the trunk, then he's inside of the tchum. If you go based on the branches, and even though he's sitting inside the 2,000 amos, the Goel Adam is allowed to kill him. Or let's say the trunk is outside of the tchum, and the branches are inside of the tchum. So now, Lamaise, can you kill him if he's on the trunk outside of the tchum, or do we go after the branches? And therefore, even though he's sitting on the trunk outside the tchum, you're not allowed to kill him. Hakol holech achar hanof. So we have the first mission that says Hakol holech achar hanof, and that's by ir miklat. And lemaise by ir miklat, everything goes based on the nof, and therefore, wherever he is, it doesn't matter wherever the nof is. So if he's sitting on a trunk inside of the tchum, but the nof are hanging outside of the tchum, the branches are hanging outside the tchum, seemingly the rove of the branches, then the Goel Adam would be able to kill him even though he is sitting inside of the tchum. Zak the Gemara or mini, but we have a shaila, we have another brayso that says Ilan shehu omeid bifnim v'not elachutz o omeid bachutz v'not elifnim, a similar idea. However, here we're not talking about a tchum, we're talking about Yerushalayim, we're talking about Meiser Sheni. We know that if a fruit is inside of Yerushalayim, you're not allowed to be podet, and you go ahead and you eat it in Yerushalayim. And if the fruit is outside of Yerushalayim, you're not allowed to eat it, and you have to be podet. So it says in Gemara that also, if a tree is growing on the border of Yerushalayim, like right by the city walls, and we've seen this is possible, so whichever part of the tree, so this is a little different. If we were going to use the same halacha as our Mishnah, you would expect, well, it depends where the branches are. We're not saying that now. Now we're saying it depends on which part of the tree the fruits are. So if half of the fruits are on the trunk / on the branches that are inside, if half of the fruits are outside, whichever parts are inside the wall are considered to be in Yerushalayim, you could eat them off the tree without redeeming them. The ones that are outside, you cannot eat off the tree, you'd have to redeem them or bring them into Yerushalayim and eat them. But you seemingly see, what should it say? It should be consistent. Either we just go based on where the guy is. According to this, if the guy's inside, then he's inside. If he's outside the tchum, he's outside the tchum. Why should it make a difference where the leaves are? And if you're going to say it's based on the leaves, so then why are we saying that by the case of Meiser, we're going based on where on the tree the object is? So it seems to be a contradictory brisa. Says in Gemara.
The concept of tchum closer to Hilchos Shabbos. Why don't we bring something for Hilchos Shabbos?
So the Gemara is going to ask, right? So the Gemara, because I guess the Gemara doesn't have anything that contradicts Hilchos Shabbos. So the Gemara is going to say, you're right. Meiser are mikla karamis. You can't ask this kasha. Why? Listen to this. Meiser bechoma talas rachmana. The Torah says, "Lifnei Hashem Elokecha tochlenu," and it all depends on the wall. If you're in the wall, then lamaisa you can eat it. If you're out of the wall, you can't eat it. That's talking about the fruit. So lamaisa, it makes a lot of sense. If the tree is half in, half out, whichever part is in, whichever part is out. It's based on the choma and where the tree is. What's Ari Mikla based on? Ari Mikla bedira tala rachmana. Ari Mikla, it says, Ki be'ir mikla to yeshev. You need to sit. What does that have to do? Where do you sit? Do you sit on the trunk or do you sit in the branches? Well, if you make a treehouse, where are you making the treehouse? In the branches. Binofo mitarle, biikara lo mitarle. Fascinating. So the reason that is different is not a contradiction. By the fruits, it's all based on the choma. So wherever the fruits are on the tree, that's where we're going to count them. Half the tree could be in, half the tree could be out. But since by a tree, since by Yer Miklat it's based on where you live, you have to live in the Yer Miklat. By Yer Miklat it's going to depend on where rove of the branches are. Since the branches are more fit for living than the trunk itself, wherever rove of the branches are, that's how we're going to categorize the tree. If rove of the branches are outside and you're sitting on the trunk inside, Lamaisa, the Goel Adam can kill you, and if vice versa, the Goel Adam cannot kill you. Zok the Gemara.
I'm sorry, you're adding rove now to this.
I'm just adding rove. But the Gemara doesn't say rove, but I'm assuming rove because there could be branches inside as well. So I'm assuming that wherever rove of the branches are, that's where we're going to go based on. I don't know what else to suggest. Virami Meiser Meiser. The Gemara says that's glot. If you make a difference between Yer Miklat and Meiser, the only problem is we have another brisa which talks about Meiser. Titania Birushalayim halech achar hanof, bi'ari miklat halech achar hanof. But now you have a brisa which says that not only by Yer Miklat do you go after the nof, by Yerushalayim you go after the nof as well. And therefore we're stuck now because you just said that by Meiser we're going to go wherever the thing is, and only by Yer Miklat you're going to go after the nof. So this doesn't contradict the fact that by Yer Miklat we're going to go after the nof. But now we have a brisa that says that by Meiser you go after the nof as well. Says Gemara, Rav Kahana lo kasha. Ha Rabbi Yehuda v'ha Rabbanan. Rabbi Yehuda is going to be the one who says that you go after the nof, and Rabbanan are the ones that you're going to say that you go after the tree. Titania, as we have another brisa, so now this is a third brisa. We have our Mishnah and three brisas. The third brisa is by Meiser as well. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, ba me'ara holech achar pischa, that by Meiser, if you have a cave underneath the ground. So if it opens up into Yerushalayim, then everything in the cave, even the stuff outside Yerushalayim, is considered to have grown inside Yerushalayim. If it opens up to outside of Yerushalayim, outside the city walls, then even the stuff that's in the cave underneath the ground of Yerushalayim will be considered to be outside. So to Be'ilan, holech achar nofo. By Ilan, by Meiser, you're going to go after the nof. So what do we see clearly over here? We hold that Rabbi Yehuda says hakol holech achar nof by Meiser. Therefore, brisa number 2, which says that by Ari Miklat and Meiser, hakol holech achar anof. So lamaisa, that's going to be Rabbi Yehuda as well. And brisa number 1, which says that each part is judged individually, that'll be the Rabbanan. And our Mishnah by Ari Mikla, which says hakol holech achar anof, that'll be Rabbi Yehuda as well. Says the Gemara, not so simple. Eimor deshamisle the Rabbi Yehuda gabe meiser lechumra. Let me say this outside or else we're not going to understand it. So right now we're suggesting, again, we have Rabbi Yehuda who came along and was talking at a case of Meiser. So the Gemara assumed that if he was the case of Meiser, so then he's the author of this other brisa that says that by Meiser we go after the nof. The only problem is that the other brisa which says that by Meiser we go after the nof has another part to it as well. It says that by Arei Miklat we go after the nof as well. So the Gemara is about to suggest as follows. The Gemara is just going to suggest, you're assuming that by definition, you're assuming we're all glad here because Rabbi Yehuda is the one who says we go after the nof by Meiser, and therefore our brisa which says you go after the nof by Meiser is Rabbi Yehuda, and the one who says you go after the tree is the Rabbanan. That's all nice. The problem is that you're also making this assumption now by default and by extension that Rabbi Yehuda is going to hold that you go after the nof by Yer Miklat as well. And the Gemara is going to suggest as follows. Again, it's complicated, but I'll say it clearly. The Gemara is going to suggest that there's reason to assume that Rabbi Yehuda would say to go after the nof specifically by Meiser and not by Yer Miklat. Now again, don't get confused with what we just said before. Before we gave a reason why we would go after the nof by Yer Miklat and not by Meiser. We said that by Yer Miklat we would go after the nof because it's based on where you live, and by Meiser we go after the tree because it's based on the choma. We're throwing that out for now. We're not going there. But now we're assuming just because Rabbi Yehuda says that you go after the nof by Meiser, you would go after the nof by Yer Miklat as well? What does that mean? He says, think about it for a second. We can assume that Rabbi Yehuda was being machmir. Now, it's interesting to note that by Meiser, you can come up with a case where no matter where the nof is, there will be a tzad l'chumra. What does that mean? That means as follows. If I have the tree inside Yerushalayim and the nof outside Yerushalayim, the branches, what's the chumrah there if we go after the nof? Well, we're considering the tree to be outside Yerushalayim. What's the chumrah when the tree is outside Yerushalayim? When the tree is outside Yerushalayim, you can't just take a piece of the fruit off the tree and eat it. You need to either bring it into Yerushalayim or you need to redeem it. That's the chumrah when the nof is outside of Yerushalayim. What happens when the trunk is outside of Yerushalayim and the nof is inside Yerushalayim? What's the chumrah there? The chumrah there is that if you want to be podeh it, you're not allowed to be podeh. because fruit that's inside Yerushalayim is not allowed to be podeh. So Bain inside Yerushalayim and Bain outside of Yerushalayim, you could always think of a case by Meiser where you're going to be machmir. There's a certain chumrah to Meiser outside of Yerushalayim in the sense that you can't just eat it, and there's a certain chumrah to Meiser inside Yerushalayim that you're not allowed to be podeh. So maybe when Rabbi Yehuda says Hakol holech achar anof, that's dafka by Yerushalayim, because either way you can say that whichever way the nof is, there's going to be a certain chumrah. Now move that to Arei Miklat for a second. By Arei Miklat, when we talk about chumrah and kula, the chumrah would be that the Goel Adam is not allowed to kill. Again, this is very complicated, but the Goel Adam is not allowed to kill the Rotzeach. That would be the chumrah. The kula would be that the Goel Adam is allowed to kill the Rotzeach. So if you think about it now, there's going to be a case by the Miklat where it's going to be a kula, not a chumrah. If you say Hakol holech achar hanof, and what? And the branches are inside of the Ir Miklat and the trunk is outside of the Ir Miklat, that'll be a chumrah also. That'll be a chumrah, because then if the guy is on the trunk outside of the Ir Miklat, since the branches are inside the Ir Miklat, you will not be able to kill him. But in the case where the trunk is inside of the Ir Miklat and the nof is outside of the Ir Miklat, and the guy is on the trunk inside of the Ir Miklat, if you say that Rabbi Yehuda holds in that case Hakol holech achar anof, if the branches are outside of the Ir Miklat, it's going to come out to be a kula, that in that case the Goel Adam will be able to kill the Rotzeach who's inside of the Ir Miklat on the trunk, but Lamaisa, since the branches are outside of the Ir Miklat, Lamaisa is going to be able to be killed. That's what the Gemara is saying now. So you can't suggest, if this brisa was just talking about, like it's talking about Ma'aseh, fine. If this other brisa was talking about that B'Yerushalayim Aleich Achar Anof, we have nothing to talk about. We're good to go. But because this brisa mentions not only Ma'aser on the bottom of Yud Beis Amud Aleph, but also Ir Miklat, the Gemara is not comfortable suggesting that Rabbi Yehuda, he might, but it's not comfortable suggesting that Rabbi Yehuda for sure would say Hakol Holech Achar Anof even by Ir Miklat. Make sense?
I don't understand. What do you mean by chumrah and kula? In other words,
it means the Gemara is
from the standpoint of the Goel Adam.
So the Gemara is assuming from the
standpoint of the one who's the murderer, it's a kula.
So the Gemara is assuming from the Gemara is looking at it from the standpoint of the murderer. We're trying to be machmir. That means that a chumrah would be that the Goel Adam cannot kill the Rotzeach. A kula would be that the Goel Adam can kill the Rotzeach. And we can't assume that Rabbi Yehuda would say Hakol holech achar anof even lekula. I.e., even to say that the guy would be able to go ahead. That's how you want to look at it. You want to say Chomer Kula. I'm basically just making it. But if you want to say, we're not comfortable, the bottom line is we're not comfortable to suggest that even though we're comfortable to suggest that Rabbi Yehuda would say Hakol holech achar anof by Meiser, we're not comfortable to suggest that for sure he would say Hakol holech achar anof when it'll result in the killing of the Rotzeach by the Goel Adam because of the fact that the nof is outside even though he's literally inside. That's what the Gemara is about to say. And therefore the Gemara is going to answer. The Gemara, I'll just give you the two answers and then we'll read it all inside. The Gemara, if you think that's complicated, the Gemara is going to answer when he says Hakol holech achar anof, you're right. Rabbi Yehuda would never suggest that in a case where the trunk is inside of the Ir Miklat and the branches are outside and the guy is on the trunk, Rabbi Yehuda would never suggest that the Goel Adam can kill him. So what does he mean Hakol holech achar anof in that case where the nof is outside and the trunk is inside? What he means is as follows. If the guy is in the branches and he's outside, for sure everybody would agree that what? If you say Hakol holech achar anof, you would agree that I could take a bow and arrow and I could shoot him dead. No problem. Let's say he's in the branches outside of the Ir Miklat and I can't reach him with the bow and arrow. So Rabbi Yehuda would say Hakol holech achar anof, not that you can go kill him when he's sitting on the trunk, for sure not. That he wouldn't be so that he wouldn't be so makil to say. Where Rabbi Yehuda will say when he says Hakol holech achar anof, in that case, he'll say that if the only way to get the guy who's in the branches is to go into the Ir Miklat and climb up the trunk of the tree and then go into the branches to be able to kill him in the branches, then Rabbi Yehuda will say Hakol holech achar anof, and you're allowed to use the tree as a step ladder, as a step stool to go ahead and kill the guy in the branches. That's how the Gemara is going to answer. That's one answer. So Hakol holech achar anof, we're not going to be comfortable. You're right. Rabbi Yehuda, we're not going to be comfortable. And when it says over here that by Ir Miklat Hakol holech achar anof, we don't mean that if the branches are outside and the trunk is inside, you could shoot the guy dead who's on the trunk. But what Rabbi Yehuda is saying is that he's being makil in the sense that you're going to allow the Goel Adam to climb up the tree and kill the guy if he's in the branches outside of the Ir Miklat. And the second answer of Rav Ashi is that when we say Hakol holech achar anof, it doesn't mean that we go after the nof. It's that we're always going to go after the tree, the trunk. However, we'll afilu after the nof. We'll go after the nof when going after the nof will be a case of chumrah. That means we're always going to go after the trunk, and if the trunk is inside, we're going to go after the trunk. If the trunk is outside, then we're always going to go after the trunk. Therefore, when the trunk is inside, we'll go after the trunk. But if achar hanof will be saving of the rotzeach, that means if the trunk is outside and the branches are inside, then we're willing to use achar hanof whenever we need to in order to save the rotzeach. That's the second answer, is that he doesn't always go after the nof, but he's willing to go after the nof if it's going to mean saving the rotzeach. So even if the trunk is outside and the guy's on the trunk outside, but the branches are inside, then we'll go after the nof. Therefore, it comes out that again he's being machmir, quote unquote. He's protecting the rotzeach as opposed to, as we originally had problems suggesting, he was going ahead and going against rotzeach. Those are the two ways to understand that. According to both answers, he's actually protecting the rotzeach. The question is, what does he mean achar nof? Does that mean that there's an exception, i.e. that he's protecting the rotzeach, but we're going to let him climb up the ladder? Or we're saying, no, he's always protecting the rotzeach, and therefore when it says achar nof, it means that afilu achar nof, that in a case where it's going to be more of a protection, then we'll go after the nof, which is leaning into the city. We just got to finish up, so let's just read it inside, and then quickly do the next Mishnah. Imer deshamis later Rabbi Yehuda gabe ma'aser l'chumra ikaro bachut. So we're comfortable to suggest that Rabbi Yehuda is going to go after the nof by ma'aser, because either way it's going to be l'chumra ikaro bachut benofo b'fnim. If the trunk or if the main part of the thing is outside and the nofo is inside, kihechi de benofo lo matzi parak b'ikaro nami lo matzi parak. We're comfortable to go after the nof because there's going to be a chumra there. Because just like l'maisa, since the nofo is b'fnim, you can't go ahead and you can't redeem it. Therefore, we're not going to let you redeem any part of it, even the stuff that's on the ikar, which is outside of the city. Ikar b'fnim v'nofo mi b'chutz will also be a chumrah, because kihechi de benofo lo matziacha b'lo padiyah. Even though there's stuff that's in the ikar on the inside of the city, if we go based on the branches, if we're going to go after the branches, so just like you can't eat the branches without padiyah, you can't eat the stuff that's inside the city without padiyah because the branches are outside the city. Like I said, if the guy's on the trunk outside of the city and the branches are going inside, that's going to be a chumrah, i.e. protection for the rotzeach. Just like you can't kill him where the branches are inside the city, you can't kill him on the trunk when he's sitting outside the city. The problem is with all of this, as I said, if the trunk is inside the city and the branches are outside the city, the guy is on the trunk inside of the city. We're not going to suggest or be comfortable suggesting that Rabbi Yehuda is going to say that just because the branches are outside the city, you're going to be able to kill the guy. Amarava, like I gave you the first answer, you're right. If the guy is on the trunk inside the city, for sure you can't kill him. And again, the opposite. If the guy is in the branches and you can reach him with a bow and arrow, for sure you could kill him. What does he mean that you're going to go after the nof in a case where the nof is outside the city? If you're telling me you can't kill him when he's in the city on the trunk with the branches outside the city, for the trunk to be a step stool for the branches. Marsavar, Rabbi Yehuda says, you can allow the guy to go into the city, climb up the tree, and kill him in the branches, which is a kol holich achar hanof. And Rav Ashi Amar, like I said, the second answer is my achar hanof. What does it mean? He could go after the nof. That's af achar hanof. That means you go according to whichever one will be more machmer. You go according to the base of the tree in general. So if the base is inside and the nof is outside, you go based on the inside, and you cannot kill him. And even if the base is outside and the branches are inside, then you'll go after the nof, and you'll say that you cannot kill him. Fine. Zok the Mishnah. A little bit easier. Harag be'osa'ir gola mishchuna l'shchuna. Let's say a guy was thrown into the Ir Miklat because he killed b'shogeg, and now he kills again b'shogeg. So we know that he's not allowed to leave the Ir Miklat because he's not allowed to leave the Ir Miklat. So what do we do with him now? He needs to be gola somewhere else. So if he kills somebody else, gola mishchuna l'shchuna. He gets sent from one neighbor to the next. Now you want to make sure you stay away from this guy. Uven Levi gola me'ir li'ir. But a Ben Levi who kills somebody in his own city, which is the Ir Miklat, he has no problem leaving the Ir Miklat because he never killed before b'mezid. But what do you do with him? You send him from his city into another Levi city, into another Ir Miklat. Says in Gemara, Tanu Rabbanan, Moshe Rabbeinu was told by Kadosh Baruch Hu, "V'samti lecha makom, v'samti lecha bechayecha." I'm going to place you bechayecha, makom mimekomcha, from your place, asher yanushama. Now we know that Moshe Rabbeinu set aside 3 ayaros in his life, but we know that they didn't go into effect until after he died. So what does HaKadosh Baruch Hu mean when he says, I'm going to place for you in your mimkomcha, in your life? Yes, he separated 3 cities, but they weren't functioning in his life. So what does this mean? Says Gemara something fascinating. Milamed shahayu Yisrael megalim b'midbar. We learned from these words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that they actually had galus in the midbar. What was the galus? Lehechan maglin lemachan elavia. When somebody would kill in the midbar, they would have to run to the Ir Miklat. What was the Ir Miklat? Moshe Rabbeinu had set them aside, but they weren't in function yet. When you killed Bishogeg in the Midbar, you would run to the Machaneh Leviyah, and that would be the Ir Miklat. Says the Gemara, Mikan Amr, and we learn from here, Ben Levi Shahara Gola Miplach Laplach, like I said, Ben Levi who kills goes from one city to another, even though neighborhood, Plach is usually neighborhood. Rashi clearly says here Plach is talking about a city. Vim Gola Lapalcho, Palcho Kotlo. And if already, you've already been in Galus, in a city, then you go from neighbor to neighbor. Amar Vacha Breda Rav Ika, Maikra, Ki Be'ir Miklato Yeshev. You sit in the Ir Miklat. That means Ir Sheklateto Kfar. That means that even if you've already gotten Kolei protection from this Ir Miklat, if you kill again B'Shogeg, you go to another neighborhood in that Ir Miklat to be protected one more time. Let's just do the Mishnah. Kayot Sebo. Rotseach shegala li'ir miklato. If a rotseach goes to the Ir Miklat, v'rotzu anshe ir lechabdo. The guy has money. Okay, he killed B'Shogeg, he's in the Ir Miklat. We want to honor you at the Ir Miklat dinner. Says the Gemara, Yomer lan rotseach ani. You know, I'm not just living here, stam. You know, I'm here because I'm rotseach. They said, we don't care, you have money. Amr lo, afal pikein. You have money, we want to honor you. Yikaba mi'en shenemar, v'zed devar rotseach. Then, Lamaisa, if they want to honor him, he's allowed to, because as long as the Devar Rotzeach, as long as he tells them that he's here as a Rotzeach, Lamaisa, they still want to honor him. It's a fascinating thing. Somebody was saying, we always honor the people with money. We don't necessarily honor the people who always deserve to be honored. Malim ha-yuschar levim. People that with money should also be honored, but we should also honor the people that work hard. Malim ha-yuschar levim. So now there's a machlokes. Did the people who came to the Ir Miklat have to pay rent for their apartment or their house in the Ir Miklat? So Rabbi Yehuda says, of course, they had to pay rent. Why not? They came, they're living there, they have to pay rent. No, they have no choice. They have to run to the Ir Miklat, therefore we're not going to charge them rent. Finally, there's a machlokes. If he was the president of the shul before he killed B'Shogeg, so Lamaisa, does he get to go back? So we say, yes, he gets to go back to be the president when he comes out of the Ir Miklat, when the Kohen Gadol dies. Rabbi Yehuda Mer, as we seem to paskin, yes, he killed B'Shogeg, but he still clearly did something wrong, and therefore, if he was president before he went to the Ir Miklat, he does not retain his position. He could probably run for re-election, but he doesn't by default. Sounds like according to Rabbi Meir, he would by default. As soon as he returns, he gets his job back. Sounds like according to Rabbi Yehuda, he would not retain his position upon return from the Ir Miklat. If you want to chazer that part that we did, there was confusion.